privacy matters under the working group 5. So we will start this morning's session by inviting Satoh-san to come up and share with us how IT security is an enabler for both privacy and security. Satoh-san.
So thank you very much for inviting to this event. So my name is Satoh. I am now an independent consultant, but I was working for HP Hewlett Packard. So I was a former Asia region privacy officer at HP Inc. And I worked for that position for about 10 years, but before such a decade, so I was Asian region manager of IT security consulting department of Hewlett Packard. And also I have worked for Japanese government as an advisor and assistant counselor at the National Information Security Center. So it means that I experienced both of security and privacy. So I used my picture from the scuba diving. So because I would like to play a deep dive into the ocean of privacy and security from now. So this is another story. So scuba diving in the water needs a type of a certification. So first one is a no certification, it is introductory diving. And the next one is open water diving. And third one is advanced open water diving. So I'd like to have my presentation in 3 stages from the beginning of diving to the deep dive. So first one is introductory diving. So security management versus privacy management is very important and very interesting matter. So in that case, boundary of responsibility is a key point of difference between security and privacy. So this is not a recommended practice, but it is one example of a practice of Hewlett Packard. So responsibility by the security is in the HPD. So it is to protect data confidentiality for secret information. So the responsibility by privacy is to classify personal data to secret information in the viewpoint of security. So what does this mean is that in the privacy countermeasures, it is necessary for employees to be able to recognize what is personal data and to classify those to the secret information. It is the only thing in the privacy measurement. So after this is achieved, the responsibility of data protection is moving to a security measure. So it is a meaning of a boundary of responsibility. So So in order to do this, we need classification categories in the security countermeasures. So in this case, for example, the 4 levels of security classification. So top secret and confidential and not classified. So in this case, personal data can be mapped to the secret information, not for top secret and not for confidential. Confidential is lower than the secret, and the top secret is higher than the secret. So personal data needs to be protected as a secret information level of security. So this definition is needed by privacy measures. And also privacy office needs to educate that what is personal data to employees. So this is everything about the security measures within the privacy management. So this kind of thing is also described in the ISO IC standard. So the number of ISO IC is 29151. This is a code of practice for PII protection. This standard is proposed from myself. So this is published in the next spring, I think. Yes. So this is what the difference between the security management versus privacy management. So if the data breach is happening in the organization, so if the employee knows it is a secret information, however, data breach was happened, in that case, the responsibility of that incident is owned by security team. And however, employee does not know personal information is classified to security information. In that case, the responsibility of incident might be owned by a privacy team. So this is a difference between security management and privacy management I propose. So it is just an introduction, the difference between security and privacy. So next one is we go into the C. So this is borrowed from the keynote session yesterday. So Mr. Harvey Young, Cisco system, introduced this kind of picture in his presentation. So security and difference of security and privacy is described in this slide. So security means that secure and protect all types of information. And privacy means that appropriate use of personal information. So I think I agree with this. So however, in that case, what appropriate use means? So left side. So we can say appropriate use of all types of information at the left side. So in that case, what appropriate use is an important thing between this kind of left side and right side. So in that case, in the case of security, appropriate use might be the authorized use. So organization authorize access control to the person. So it must be followed by the authorized access. So in that case, what will be appropriate use in the privacy? It is a matter of privacy. So my understanding is that the purpose of the privacy management is to avoid doing the thing individual dislike. So in that case, what dislike means? So next one. So what is a thing dislike? This is also an example, not a recommended answer. So level 1 is individuals feel disturbed. So don't disturb is one of the privacy issues. So in the second level, maybe individuals feel unimaginable. So for example, so if customer does not want to subscribe direct mail from the company, in that case, if company send direct mail to the customers, it will be disturbed customer feels about it. So this is the kind of things that disturb. So what will be the unimaginable? So organization or company collect for example, company collected the phone number. So however, company does not make phone call at all. So in that case, customer might be wondering that why company collect my phone number from myself? It is an unimaginable thing. So as you know, this term is protected or regulated by the law. So if a company sends direct mail to the customer who did not want to have a direct mail, in that case, almost countries or regions, so it will be a legal issue. However, if company does not send a direct mail and does not make a phone call at all, it is not against the law. So, but the customer may feel unimagined. So this is also to be avoided doing the things individuals dislike. So those are just examples. So you can consider about the third levels of things dislike. So the next one is the needed thing of privacy management is to manage preferences of individuals. So because direct mail can be sent to the customer and may not send to the customer. It is depending on the preference of individuals. So direct mail is not prohibited by the law. So it must be follow the preference of individuals. So company needs the privacy preferences of individuals. So in that case, the answer of the how to know preferences of individuals is two elements of activity. So one is first one is notice to individuals. So the next one is correct consent from the individual. So first element of notice to individuals. So it means that notice the purpose of use of personal information. So at the right side, so this is a kind of how to manage the purpose of use in the company. So I'm sorry that I did not have enough time to translate Japanese into English, so I just overlapped the English letter at the top of Japanese materials. So the above table 1 is examples of IDs for the text of the purpose of use. So it means that we cannot manage the original text of purpose of use for every individual. So we should standardize the purpose of the text of purpose of use. In that case, in this example case, so if we said that email address will be used for a newsletter from our company, in that case, this is JP001 is assigned for the ID of the text of the purpose of use. The next one is the JP002 is assigned for the PC product promotion from our company. And the third JP003 is used for printer product promotion from our company. So as you know, the Hewlett Packard is selling PC and printer, both of PC and printer. So in that case, first one, JP001 is the company is contacting to everything of our product. But JP002 is just for a PC product. And the third one is just for a printer product. This kind of normalized or standardized text is needed to be managed of purpose of use text into the database. So the second one, table 2, is examples of IDs for the situation of correction. So in this case, this is entirely Japanese. So this one is station. The ID of a station of correction is A1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this means that the registration of the seminar on the 2001 February 1st. So this is a registered seminar registration the personal information is collected as a registration seminar, which will be held on the 2001. So next one is a questionnaire from the seminar, and sometimes third one is any kind of a registration of a promotion campaign. So this is I said this is a situation ID. So this is also managed by the managed in the database. The reason why is, so this is the example of the table of customer database. So the line is the individual's record. So the first one, this is the name and the address, home address and the phone number and the mail address, and this is the collected date. So because the company might collect the personal information from the same person repeatedly, so it will not be just one time. So it is the reason why we need to use a correct situation ID here. So this is very important thing. So but if the company is using that just only one purpose of use text in all time, in that case, this column is not needed because this is just a standard purpose of use text, and any time and any place, in any case, so that company is using that single text to the customer. In that case, the right side, most right side column will not be needed. So however, usual company is needed if company is collecting the personal information from the same person at more than one time. So the purpose of use needs to be managed as portrait of history for correct situation, because it is assumed to collect information from the same person repeatedly. This is an important thing to manage the customers' notice and notice about it. And the second element I introduced in the previous slide, so collect consent from individuals. So in this case, the first thing we need to know is that there are two types of consent. So the first one is explicit consent. And the second one is implicit consent. So the explicit consent means that the action by person is required to collect consent. So no action is assumed as agreed. So the example is there is a checkbox and check if you want to subscribe newsletter from us. In that case, this means that explicit consent. The second one is the implicit consent. So this is the action by person is not needed to collect the consent. No action is assumed as disagreed. So this is the type. So no action is assumed as agreed is implicit consent. So example is this kind of thing. So example, check if you do not want to subscribe newsletter from us. In that case, or check if you want to subscribe newsletter from us. However, the check is already check is pre-check in the form. So this is sometimes second one is sometimes the default off method or something. This is also type. So the first one is the default off method. So next, second one is the default on method. So I'm sorry, this is a type. So this is also defined in the ISO standard 29184 guidelines for online privacy notice and consent. So but this international standard will be published in year 2018, I think. So this is not yet published. So, but we need to know is that there are two types of consent, correct consent method. So, this is also be managed in the database as a status of something. So in this case, we use the capital Y means explicit consent, and small y means implicit consent, and no N, capital N is not consented or deconsented. So U is stands for unknown, so not yet to ask about consent. So this kind of four types of state of consent is needed in the database. So this is a whole picture of an example of the table of customer database. So I explained this already. So we need to put the status of the consent here. So in this case, this is the home address and the phone number and the mail address or something. So the new matter in this slide is that the permission or consent is not seen for the customer. So, but we can manage those into the contact information piece, every contact information piece. So this is the home address, this is the phone number, and this is the mail address. So this one, this person is at the consent for the home address and the mail address. However, he or she does not want to contact by phone, telephone. So this is example on the table of a customer database. So the consent needs to be managed as a confirmation method for every contact information piece can be identified as having confirmation or not. So this is a conclusion of a consent need, I think. So the requirement of privacy management is to manage preferences of individuals. So, however, the goal of privacy management by the company or organization might be to increase opt-in rate and decrease opt-out rate from individuals. What does this mean is that we manage the preference perfectly. So this means that privacy management is perfect. However, all customers disagree about the use of personal information. This is not a purpose or a goal of a company. So a company needs to increase the consent rate or permission rate, so and decrease the deconsent rate and the opt-out rate. So we need to remember that the goal of privacy management is this kind of stuff. So this is back to the example of the payroll customer database. So I'd like to back to the difference between security and privacy. So in the table, so this is the contact information here. So name, home address, phone number, and email address. So those areas is a preference of a customer. So in this case, the left side information is a matter of secrecy. So this needs a data confidentiality. So the right part is a part of a privacy. So just Y or N or some kind of ID are not secrecy. So because this cannot be used in the outside the company. So however, we need the data integrity here. So what I say, I call it is not just a data integrity, it's a practical data integrity. So I will explain about it later. But data information or data security or information security is enabling solution for secrecy and privacy. So sometimes, we compare about this kind of privacy and security here. So, however, we need to distinguish between those with secrecy or privacy. So security is just an enabler of secrecy and privacy. So data integrity for this kind of status and also a correct situation or when it will be corrected, some kind of stuff must be have a protected integrity. So why I use the practical data integrity instead of just data integrity is that so I explained that a company needs to manage the individual's preferences. So, however, individual's preference is actually in his or her mind. So, I do not want to have a direct mail from the company. It's just in the mind. So, but he or she represents it to the company and correct such kind of preference from the individual and stored into the database, so collected as data. So and then finally recorded as data. So I explained that there are two types of method of consent of collection. So explicit consent and implicit consent. So as you know that in the case of implicit consent, customer may not want to have a direct mail. However, just forget to check out for the implicit consent. Then this is an issue of data integrity. So ideal integrity must be same as her mind and recorded as data. So this must, the first line and the fourth line must be the same, but it is not done by perfectly. So this is just a matter of mind. So we cannot manage or control the mind. So we just control collected data and recorded data. So the IT security, the enabling by the IT security can be done just correct and record. So the above side, so his representation or his mind is managed by the explicit consent or implicit consent or something. It is a kind of operation, and this is out of IT department. It is usually done by marketing or sales department. So this is an issue of data integrity. So it is a reason why I use the term practical data integrity instead of just data integrity. Last slide is manage preferences of individuals. So what will be the privacy incident? So that personal information data breach is an incident of secrecy. This is name and home address, phone number, or email address, something. So the data breach is a kind of incident regarding to the secrecy. So in that case, what really is an incident of privacy? It is sometimes, so in the database, customer does not want to have a direct mail from the company. In that case, permission might be N. N means that no. So N. So however, the marketing department send direct mail to that customer. This is a kind of a privacy incident. So this is just a one-by-one case incident. So however, pollution issue. Promotion incident is a big issue of the company. So what this means that if a company requires explicit consent from the customer by the privacy policy in that case, and also as you know, European Union's GDPR requires explicit consent, so they do not permit the implicit consent. So if the company is having a policy of explicit consent, in that case, so you cannot use a default one method to collect the consent from the customer. So however, some sales team misunderstood about it. So just a pre-checked box is used for a registration form in order to collect personal information at a specific seminar. In that case, so this must be small y instead of a capital Y, large Y. So, but misunderstanding sales team registered those information as capital Y, so some record. So if this company is having 1 million of customer record here, so they usually do explicit consent legally. So, but some of sales teams, so just 2 or 3 persons registered implicit consent into the database as a capital Y. In that case, what will be happen? This company cannot use entire database because trust over large Y is broken. So entire database cannot be used for explicit consent. This is a kind of data pollution, he said. So in that case, if that incident is happened, in order to recover the incident, recover from the incident, company needs data cleansing. So data cleansing that means that company find out the record which is affected from such kind of 2 or 3 salesperson. So we delete or remove the record or change the status from capital Y to small y. But it can be done if you manage a trail of notice, and also you can manage the history of a consent. So in that case, company can do data cleansing only when you manage a trail or history of consent. If you do not manage the history or something, so in that case you will lose all customer preferences by just 2 or 3 records of misunderstanding about the sales or marketing team. So this is a privacy incident at the right side. So privacy management is used for such kind of privacy incident also. So in any way, information security is an enabler of data privacy. So confidentiality enables the secrecy of personal information of individuals. And integrity means the practical integrity enables the respect for preferences of individuals. So this is needed for privacy management. Okay, so this is a last dive, so third dive. So it's a deep dive. So So international standards I introduced here is just part of everything. So ISO IC JPC 1 is 27. It is well known about 27001 called as ISMS. So but the ISMS is developed by working group 1. So those those standards are developed by working group 5. So the list of international standards here is already published. So this kind of stuff. So and now ISO is developing this kind of stuff. So in this case, so I introduced here 29151 and explicit consent and implicit consent is here. So those two international standards is introduced today. So what there are a lot of international standards developed by IC27. So please please refer those international standards if you have a chance. So from one of those international standards, so we have a challenge of privacy impact assessment. So I'd like to introduce what challenge is needed for this kind of stuff. So the impression from the word PIA might be assessment for the impact on individuals relating to privacy, so personal impact. So however, the actual PIA may sometimes be assessment for the impact on businesses from privacy incident or security incident. So both of these types of privacy, impact assessment. So this is also privacy impact assessment. So but consumer expectation is above thing. So impact on individuals relating to privacy. However, organizations sometimes use a PIA for impact on businesses from privacy incident. This is just the same as a security incident. So privacy incident should not be same as a security impact assessment. So the difference between the impact is that individuals or company. So this is just only difference between security impact or privacy impact. So risk management is to manage the risk of myself or ourselves. This is a fundamental issue of how to develop a privacy impact assessment standard in the SC27. So, but you can relate that can we manage the risk of other persons? Do you think so? If you say yes, in that case a question can be changed. May your risk be managed by other person? So my risk is managed by other person. He decided my risk. It is not feasible. So this is the issue of a PIA over ST27 development of a PIA. So probably the first step might be that this state. So business side impact must be resolved first step. So next step needs to consider about personal impact. So however, personal impact, what personal impact means that it is just a preference. So person right or does not right is depending on the person. So there is no minimum standard or anything. So this is just a preference. So preference, impact of a preference, what does the impact of preference mean? So it is just integrity, vitally integrity. So customers' mind cannot be managed directly. So we can use a notice in the clarified text, and also we can manage the representation of the person into the database for in order to avoid the error of integrity. So the first line of an impression from the word PIA is an issue, and it is not yet resolved in the SEC 27. So, but in any end, we do the second issue first, and the next step is going to the how to resolve the first issue. Okay, so my conclusion of this presentation is that the privacy risks are owned by the individual and not managed by businesses. So companies must respect the individual's privacy preferences, I think. So this is the most difference between the security and the privacy. So because security management is primarily to protect the own resource or own materials or something. So security is a key element of protect the resource of a company. So however, as you know, personal information is not the resource of the company. So the risks cannot be decided by the company directly. So it will be decided by the customer or personal consumers or something. So in any, so it is decided by the other than the company. So it is a reason for why we declare the privacy policy to outside the company. So almost companies is using a privacy policy on the home page of the company. So however, almost company does not declare the security policy on the home page. So because the security policy is a matter of a company. So because risk is managed by the company, so we do not declare about it. So, but the privacy policy must be declared at the home page. So because we ask to customer to agree about the content of a privacy policy defined by the company in the prior to collect the personal information from the customer. So thank you for attention to this presentation. So in any, so I joined to the reception tonight. So if you have a question, so please please ask to me at the reception directly. So in any, thank you very much for your attention.